Okay, this is going to be another live event, and today I'm going to. I hope that you can hear me clearly because there is a lot of noise. You can say that it's not just raining; it's raining really heavy here, so it's kind of like a thunderstorm. But I decided to do the live anyway. Let's see if everything comes out right, and you are able to hear me properly. I'll do one thing. I'll try to be loud on this one so that it will be more clear. In the previous live events, I think people have already told me your sound is a bit low. So I'll be a bit loud and on this one, and hopefully that should solve it. So welcome to TopEvt, the best place for you to grow your business and improve your life to become the top achiever that you want to be. This is me, Jamie. Today we are going to look into a topic that is something that the ad industry doesn't want you to know. You are richer than you think. You are richer than what people make you believe. I'll give you some shocking things first. I'll give you some shocking lines that will open your eyes. Now, if you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, a place to sleep, you are richer than 75% of the world. I'm repeating that again. If you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, a place to sleep, you are richer than 75% of the world. If you have money in your bank, your wallet, and some spare change, you are among the top 8% of the world's wealthy. This is a shocker. This is what the ad industry doesn't want you to know. You have been made to believe that everyone is rich, everyone is like totally, doing fabulous. You have seen the lives of these celebrities. You have seen all the lives of people who are flashing cash, big cars, big things, and you think that is a standard. And if you don't achieve that, you won't be happy. The ad industry wants you to believe that. They do it strategically because if you don't have a big TV, if you don't have home theater, if you don't have so many things, a large home, anything on that lines, they want to sell you stuff. If they give you a message that you have to be contented with what you have, then they won't sell. They won't be able to sell these things. So that's the reason why they want you to believe that you are lacking. Now, this is something you have to understand. If you have these things, if you have basic things like food in your fridge, if you have a home, especially if you have a home that is debt free, that is, you don't have to pay a single rupee or a single dollar to keep that house, your mortgage is free, you are better than most of the people. For a successful life, you need a debt free life. But most people are still living in debt. The strange thing is, people who are rich, that is, people who are debt free, and I will call you rich if you are debt free. If you don't have to give money to anyone and you can just be, you don't have to pay the bank any mortgage, you don't have to pay the bank for your cars, you don't have to pay the bank for anything, then you are rich. You are already rich. You are better than most of the people out there. Funny thing is that many people who are already debt free, they see all these flashy things and they say that, okay, I need that. And then they will actually go and get these things on loan, and then they fall into debt and they become poor from rich. So they were already rich because they had surplus income, that is, they didn't have to pay anyone, and from there they have actually become poor because now they have to pay. It is something to think about. It is something that we need to think about again and again. Now I'll look into some other things. The reason I wanted to create this video is just because of this. Understand the value of a debt-free life. A debt-free life is a gift. You have to consider yourself lucky if you don't have any debt right now. If you don't have any debt, that is, your parents didn't give you any debt, you don't have to clear any student loans, you don't have to pay for anything, and you are already having, you might not be living a lavish lifestyle, but you already have a life that is okay, that is, you can survive, and you don't have to pay debt. You are in a good place right now. You are in better place than many of the people. That is about 70% of the population out there. And I'm talking about the rich countries, I'm talking about the affluent middle class in most of the countries. I'm not talking about the poor people. Now, I'll give you this statistic that I found. 70% of the people in India can't take out 50,000 rupees for an emergency. That is something emergency, like tomorrow you have an accident or whatever it is. You won't be able to. 70% of the people don't have 50,000 rupees in their bank account to take out for that emergency. Now you might be thinking it's better in many other countries, many so-called developed countries might be doing better. Let's take America. It becomes more strange. 50% of Americans can't take out $500 for an emergency. $500. In the American economy, that's something that is very low, but they can't take that out. Why is this so? You have to understand that there is more to life, than just, you have to be, the only way you can be rich is if you have a savings, you have investments, but you also understand what the meaning of being rich is. Many people have forgotten that. Many people think that you can only be rich when you have so many possessions, when you have so many cars, when you have such a big house, when you have a swimming pool, when you have a life of luxury. That's when they say, okay, now you're rich. But that isn't so. That is something that is a misunderstanding to people. Now, I'll give you, funny thing is that I saw an ad recently for a house loan. Normally a house loan period is something like 10 years. But now that period has been, the announced period on that ad was 30 years. 30 years house loan, for a house loan. This is what people are doing. They advertised it in such a way that, why do you want to settle for a small house when you can pay that same income or that same EMI and get a bigger house, pay across 30 years. This was really alarming. Have you ever calculated what kind of interest you would be paying for that house loan in 30 years? That is half of your life. You will only work till 60 years in most cases, and in that you are paying 30 years you are going to pay to the bank. You have to rethink what you are doing. If anyone has taken something like that, that is a really dumb move if you ask me. I know that in many cases, life will make you take these things, but if possible, avoid it. Learn to live within your means. That is what you need to understand. A rich person, I'll leave you with this. A rich person is a person who can have some money extra after all his expenses, after everything that he has to do that month. If he has some kind of money that is left over after that, he is rich. So it doesn't matter if you are earning $1,000, if you are able to spend only, suppose if you earn $1,000, let's think about that. If you spend only $100 in that and you are able to save $900 a month, you are already rich, because you can put that into an IRA or many other accounts and you can get a good interest. You don't think of it like, okay, banks are not paying interest, so why should I save? There are other ways to make money. You can put it into stocks. You can put it into, if you're good at stocks, you can do that. You can put it into index funds, they pay well. You can put that money into property, because in many cases property will pay back across a long time. If it's a long 10-year, 15-year, or a 20-year period, property will pay back. People are doing the exact opposite. They, in order to get a good life today, they are sacrificing their future. That same money, they'll actually take that and put it into expenses, and you're paying that as interest to the bank. I don't have a problem with you having a good life today, but understand what you're sacrificing. The banks have to make money, and they are going to take a huge share. They are going to make a huge profit out of you. That is why they want you to take the loans. They are enthusiastic for giving you loans because of this thing. Understand that, and if you can understand this, then you're on the first step to success. Now, across this week, I'll be going across certain topics that will either save you money or it will make you money. Across this week, that is what I'm trying to do, and I'll try to stream daily. I was trying last week also, but as I told you, if I'm traveling, it's not possible. But I think this week it should be possible. I have a certain list of topics that I want to go through. Most of these topics are either going to save you money or make you money. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for the updates that will come forward. I thank you all for sticking with me in this live event, and I'll see you in the next live event. This was Jamie for TopEvt. I thank you for tuning in.